coming. I call to order the Lafayette Township Board of Trustees and Fire District special meeting Thursday, December 18th at 6:30 p.m. The notice requirements of section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code and implementing rules adopted by the board pursuant thereto were complied with for this meeting. Roll call.
O'Neill here.
Paroli here. We can have everyone stand for the pledge. Flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. The reason for the meeting is, as everyone's aware, we do have some staffing issues within the service department that we wanted to discuss. We discussed it at the meeting on last Monday, and then also the special meeting that we held on Friday. And then as a result of the special meeting on Friday, trustees-elect Demansky and Villar and myself conducted several interviews on Saturday with candidates for both of the current open positions that we have. We do have an offer extended for the position of service director, so we are waiting to hear back from that applicant. But I guess one of the big questions or concerns that the number of residents have reached out to myself, and I would imagine other board members as well, is where we stand, given that on January 1st, with it being the 18th best case scenario, even if we were to have an accepted offer for one of the two positions, we're still going to be short-staffed come January 1st either way. Or I guess maybe the better question is, Chris, you've been serving as the liaison for the service department. We currently have 2 members in our road department. January 1st, as it stands right now, we will be down to 1. Would you consider that adequate staffing?
No, but I would like to say that we have 3 folks from the fire district who are prepared to fill in, and we discussed that at our last meeting on the 12th. We named them, talked about them coming out to the township side, and even making sure everything is good with the insurance that way. And so I don't think that it is a dire situation come January 1st. I think we will have people who are prepared to plow and salt the roads on January 1st, even when Ben is the only one left.
What steps have been taken to get those 3 individuals up to speed?
I've talked with Oring. Have you talked to any of them?
I have not. We've been dealing with some issues, obviously, the last weekend and the early part of this week, the service department was, kind of taxed with responding to the snow that we had. I know Chief Kavanaugh has had some of the guys that we've mentioned doing some practice with the fire department plow. But as far as their ability to respond with any of our larger trucks, or, even being, the service department's gonna still be a second or third kind of responsibility for those 3 members. I mean,
I don't know if it would be second or third, but I think it's prudent to get, I've talked to Ben about it, we can get them down, start riding around with you.
Absolutely.
A few times here before the end of the year. They have experience doing it, maybe not in our trucks, but.
okay. Those were the big things. Like I said, the trustee-elects and myself are gonna continue to do interviews over the next several days, or even weeks, depending on, again, the results of, the offer that's been extended.
So you extended an offer to somebody?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it contingent upon board approval?
Well, of course, this is exactly why it's a bigger issue that I think when we met on Friday, both yourselves and Trustee Fullerton indicated that you were in agreement that the incoming board should make the decision.
Correct.
Okay, but you also put us in a position where if we wait till the 1st or 2nd, because realistically, we're not gonna meet on the 1st, to hold that. Even if we meet the morning of the 2nd and extend an offer, you're looking at the 19th before we would even get anybody in here And as we just discussed, you know, we're going to be staffing significantly understaffed. It's great that the fire department is there for a backup, but that was supposed to be a contingency. We've known, again, for 2 months that we were losing one member of the department. And from the sounds of it, we should have acted much quicker, and when we originally discussed it on Monday the 8th, you know, it was again made pretty clear that the incoming board was gonna be allowed to make the decision, but on the 12th, the brakes were thrown up where you agreed with that decision, but you were gonna impede it being done until
No,
the
I
first.
don't see it that way. There was no notion of impedance, and I don't think you opposed it at the time. You certainly didn't bring anything to the table, you didn't bring another alternative. And then you saw fit to go on Facebook and make no mention of the 3 guys that we do have as a contingency plan. And that's the intent of that, that's the reason we do have them, so if there is a break-in in personnel, we have them to
How many-
rely on. Hang on a second, but you didn't make mention of that at all. In the meeting on the 12th, you brought no other proposal to the table, and then you got on Facebook and say, oh, in times like these, we need to have cooperation in transitions in government, and I would agree. And I think that by extending the professional courtesy to the trustees-elect to have a hand in hiring the new folks, isn't that cooperation? I think that's exactly what that entails. Now, I came here tonight thinking when you sent the email requesting a special meeting a couple days ago on Monday, the incoming board has made a decision on the direction we'll be taking on January 2nd with the service department. In the interest of giving these people time to give proper notice and still be on board in time to prevent an interruption in service to the residents of Lafayette Township, we are asking you to call a special meeting either Wednesday or Thursday this week. Neither of them were in the know on that when I talked to them on Tuesday, on the next day. They were both taken aback when I spoke to both of them. Is that correct? I guess you don't have to answer, but I think you know we talked, and
We have.
both of you indicated that it's news to me. I think both of you actually uttered that statement. That's
Okay.
news to me. So
No.
do you have a candidate in mind? You obviously extended a
You've
letter.
stated a fact, I think we should allow both of the trustee-elects to answer that. Were either of you blindsided by this? Or
Blindsided as far as
having this meeting or having candidates that we've extended an offer to?
well, when we left the last meeting, we had discussed putting together a candidate that we liked and presenting it to the current board members.
Correct.
And then after that, if we couldn't get a resolution at that time as to what we wanted to do, we had mentioned that we probably go to the prosecutor just to ask an opinion. Are there any other paths we can take if we get shut down so that we're ready come first of the year and stuff like that? That I wasn't blindsided by because we had discussed it.
Go ahead.
Well, so they neither of them had any idea that a special meeting was being requested for yesterday or today. They both told me that. Is that correct? I don't want to put anybody on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, it's
Neither
all.
of you were aware that a special meeting was going to be called for today or Thursday, as of Tuesday morning when I spoke.
No, not as of Tuesday morning, I did.
Or
No.
Tuesday evening when we spoke.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so they're on the record for saying that. Now, you've extended an offer to a candidate, and it may or may not be the right candidate, that's fine. I'm all for the 3 of you guys
Hold on,
choosing.
hold on. No,
Let me
I'm
finish, let me
gonna,
finish, Joe.
you
Let me finish,
no,
please.
No,
Yes,
this
you
is-
have extended an offer to a candidate, and I'm not sure that's even legal. It takes a board action to do that. I'm all for helping you guys out in the interest of being expedient, getting somebody in place. That's fine. But as long as the 3 of you are in agreement, that's how it should be. And to think that I'm throwing up a roadblock and trying to push back and not get somebody filled, which was your inclination on Facebook, and then asking for the meeting on Monday afternoon, and then, I don't know if it was before that or after that, you spoke with Assistant Prosecutor Lyons, but you followed up that night with a bunch of information indicating that we weren't gonna help. It's just wrong. It's not right for the township residents to be put in that position. It's because it's not accurate of the situation.
Okay, then-
If you have a candidate
then
tonight,
let's-
let's
then
talk
let's-
about it. Let's go into executive
let's-
session before.
Let's address this then. So, since we received notification that we were gonna have, a member of the service department retiring at the end of the year. We received that notification on November 7th. Since November 7th, what actions have you taken to address the staffing issue in your department? You're the liaison to the service department, it's your department.
I have not done anything other than talking in
Okay.
meetings with
So you've done nothing.
Well,
We received, you made a statement here
Yeah.
earlier that you said, you don't know if the offer that's been extended is to somebody that's quality. We received over 40 applications for these positions.
No.
No,
Let me clarify something
It's
real quick.
on the meet,
I did not
everybody
say
can go.
that. I said, I don't know if it was righteous for you guys to extend it.
No, before you said that, you said you don't know if the candidate's correct. You reviewed every resume that came in, or at least you said you did, at the meeting on the 8th. You said of all of the resumes that came in, there was one candidate that you felt deserved an interview.
There was one candidate.
There was one candidate
that.
there was one candidate.
Yes.
So from the beginning of this process, you identified one person that you would be willing to put here. And as soon as that person wasn't the shoe-in to get the job, you have done everything you can to slow roll this.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
Well,
not. Nothing to slow roll it.
The trustee-elects and I met this afternoon. We've had this conversation. Since it is clear that the current board is going to impede this process,
It's
we
not
are
clear.
no
I'm
longer,
sitting here telling
we
you
are
right
no
now. It's
longer,
not clear.
we met on Friday, we interviewed 5 candidates. At the end of those interviews, we said we were gonna schedule more for Saturday. Both you and trustee Fullerton said you had no interest in being
No,
part
I
of
was
that.
not available, and I'm pretty sure he was traveling.
Either way, we've discussed, they're both welcome to contradict this if they believe that anything I'm about to say isn't what we discussed this afternoon. But we have an offer that's extended if they accept. That is who we will be hiring on the 1st of the year, 2nd, when we have our organization meeting. After that, we're done with the process until after the 1st of the year, when you and Ty are no longer a part of the leadership team of this township.
Why
It's that
is it
simple.
not possible, which I thought would be the case tonight, that the 4 of us would talk, that you would be in agreement on somebody? You and I can make a vote here to offer it to somebody, to formally offer the job to them. That should be the course of action in the meantime. And I'm thinking that's what's going to be the case, and I thought you'd be prepared to do that.
Well, again, given the way that the interviews have gone, the discussions have gone, and things that have happened outside of meetings, I will allow Carrie and Steve to make if they would like to have an executive session, we absolutely can. I have no problem with that. But I am not comfortable sharing any additional information with either you or trustee
So
Fuller.
who's impeding the process? What can we possibly do if you're not going to share information?
You
It
were
should be
given the
yours.
opportunity, when we discussed it on the 8th, and everybody's more than welcome to go watch the meeting, the video. I asked you very clearly, if the 3 of us agreed to somebody, would you guys put them in? And you said, nope, you can do it on the 1st. That's exactly
that
what
is not
trustee
how it
Fullerton
came.
said.
Maybe he said that. I don't know. I don't remember the exact verbiage.
How
But
can
I'm
you
totally
discuss
fine
candidates
with
that you
if
don't
you-
even sit in the interviews on?
If I'm not going to be the one making the decision, right, but you 3 are, and you go on public record here, and you say, this is my choice, or we can go discuss
We
it.
can go on public record without you even being here.
Exactly. You certainly can, but there can be no vote taken without
Of
2.
course not.
So
But we can
if you
express our
3,
interest to the
would
candidate
it be
that's
prudent to
responsible.
say if you 3 have I'm assuming it's a service director, because we all talked about hiring a service director first. All of us were in agreement on that, I believe, because the service director should have a hand in hiring the roadman.
Again, that agreement, we did agree to that, but that was also at the beginning part of the conversation before I realized that you 2 were then gonna make sure that we didn't get that
See-
road manager, or the service director in here until after the 1st of the
No,
year.
that's not the case. Well, they might,
Okay.
they probably weren't gonna come in before the 1st of the year anyway. Let's be realistic. Let's be super
Right,
realistic. We hadn't
because-
received any resumes or conducted interviews until last Friday on them. So the chances of anybody starting before the 1st of the year were pretty slim. Let's just call a spade a spade. That's the case, correct?
I wouldn't agree with that statement. I mean,
No, so-
I'll let the other.
We did have a candidate who would have started before.
Okay, and that's fine. I propose that we have an executive session now.
That's fine.
If all 3 of you guys are in agreement, you could come out from executive session, make the motion now to hire that person, and the 2 of us can cast a vote. And guess what? Then they're ready to go, then they could come in as soon as possible.
That's fine.
But it's.
Would you like to take an executive session? I'll make the motion. We'll enter an executive session for the purpose of discussing, hiring decisions pursuant to ORC section 121.22G1 We will, it'll be trustees Fullerton and, or I'm sorry, trustee O'Neill and myself, and trustee-elect Carrie Villar and Stephen Kamatsky.
I would second that.
Okay. Roll call, Parola, yes?
O'Neill, yes?
We will break for executive session.
Ben, is there an area out there?
Yeah, we can.
6:45.
Okay, yeah.
I'll go turn the lights on because I didn't when I came in.
My phone in my pocket.
What time did you say?
All right.
I got 10 after 7, it's 6:45.
All right, it is 9 minutes after 7. We are out of executive session. No decisions were made. I would like to start by apologizing to trustee O'Neill for some of the comments that were made earlier. I think everybody's, a little frustrated with kind of the timing of things, not necessarily always. Yeah, anyway.
Thank you.
We had a good conversation. I think everybody's kind of closer to being on the same page. The trustee-elects and myself, like I said, have made an offer. When we hear back and we're able to make a formal announcement, or at least hopefully make a formal announcement, we will put all of kind of the details together. We will call another special meeting. Trustee O'Neill has stated that he will be here. Trustee Fullerton may or may not, but I don't want to speak for him, and but we will reconvene. We will hold another executive session so Trustee O'Neill can kind of look over everything that's been discussed and make sure he's okay. But barring some sort of crazy,
Unforeseen circumstance?
yeah, he has agreed that he will help facilitate the process so that we can get the service department back to closer to full staffing as quickly as possible. Does that all sound accurate?
Sounds reasonable.
Okay. So again, thank you everybody for coming in, and as soon as we have more, we will get another meeting scheduled. It's 10 after 7, and I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.